Howdy there, party people of the party. We're talking about watches. I guess got another bag, so we're gonna do a little bit of inventory. Show some of the watches that we got on the last one plus this one. And probably show off a new nice watch. We purchased our second. I wouldn't even call it a collection, because like, here's the thing, in my mind, like I'm buying and selling a lot of different stuff. Some stuff that I talk about on here, some stuff that I don't, but all of it's going towards kind of this idea of getting into like a jewelry / watch website, maybe a actual storefront. You know, I think anyone who gets into any kind of business has the ideas of like having their own store at some point. The problem is the reality of that is very costly. You kind of have to already be running a very functional and successful business to be able to validate putting all the money and time into a storefront, like a brick and mortar location. And it's a daydream I have a lot. I watch a lot of these other guys on YouTube that are in like the Diamond District of New York, or in Miami, or in Los Angeles, or, you know, a lot of these other big city centers that have huge jewelry hubs. But yeah, you know, you have these examples of people who have been able to run very functional, very successful businesses, primarily through online outlets. And so I think some of my issue is not so much of like what I want to do, but how exactly I should go about doing it to maximize my time and money and effort. You know, I've tried a lot of different things, party people, a lot of different things, and let me tell you, I have failed at a lot of different things. This is one of the first things that I've done on my own that was like just me doing me, that has had any kind of real success outside of like, I mean, I went to college, I got 2 degrees, I worked in that field for a little bit, and then the field got a little thin. It was really difficult to find a job that was conducive to living where we wanted to live and being able to do the things we want to do, and also make enough money to do any of that, not just a time-space issue. But yeah, this has been something that has actually kind of worked out, and I want to see it continue to work out. But you got to just keep putting in the time and effort. But you have to also be tactical about where you put in your time and effort, because you can work really hard and get nothing. Working hard is not a guarantee of success. It's not a guarantee of anything. But if you're a little bit more tactical and you try to pay attention to what's working versus what's not just what you want, but what in reality actually functionally works, that's been something I've been having to adapt with and change and you know, grow. So yeah, we have a name for this thing we're doing. We're calling it Movement Monitor. We have an Instagram where we've been kind of posting just what we've been getting. It's nothing luxurious. I wouldn't even call the Seamaster that luxurious. That's very, very low end, vintage luxury stuff. But we're just posting what we got and trying to very slowly build a following and just kind of stay in our lane. But yeah, Movement Monitor. I may begin working on a website. I had, before this happened, one of the other things that I was buying and selling was going pretty good. There were some circumstances around that stuff that it just kind of made the community lose faith, I think, in a lot of ways, in the hobby itself. And I saw that as it happened and started to kind of buy less inventory of that. And it's still selling, but it's not like it was. But I had built a website for that. That was probably like 90% done. I need to work on some of the imagery and stuff for it, but I think that I can figure all with us as we do some inventory. Howdy there, party people of the party. This is a continuation of a discussion we started like, I don't know, 2-3 days ago. Seems to be a trend with these videos. I'll start filming something and then I just get lost with life. So yeah, we got a new banger on the wrist. This is a HEUER, a pre-TAG merger watch. This is a 1000 professional, so it is the quartz electronic. I just kind of like the quartz stuff. It's reliable. You can get something that's 20-30 years old and still be able to wear it every day because it works. There's not parts for it that are just, I mean, if it breaks, it's broken. They don't make the parts, most likely, you know. But for like the large majority, as far as vintage watches go, I personally prefer the quartz stuff. The automatic is really cool. I get like the artistry behind it and the chronology history and just all of that, and that's cool. But yeah, just quartz all day long. This is the second of the nice watches. I was saying kind of before that I'm trying to have an inventory of like just day-to-day $20 to $100 watches, and have like 20 or 30 of those, to where just anyone who's wanting a watch, I can help put something on their wrist. But then for the people that are willing to spend a little bit more, that are looking for something that's a little bit nicer, we start building up a portfolio of these nicer watches, you know, like $300 to $500. You know, like $300 to $1,000 watches, to where if you're wanting to spend a little bit more, I can facilitate getting something like that on your wrist too. So far we have 2 in stock. We have the 79 Omega Seamaster. We have the 79 Seamaster DeVille Quartz in the 10 karat rolled gold. Or is it gold filled? One or the other. It's not solid. And now we have the TAG, or it's not a TAG, it's a HEUER 1000 professional. And I don't know what the next one's going to be, but we'll see. So yeah, we are going to build up 2 separate inventories, one of like low-end luxury watches and one of just base level $20 to $100 watches. A lot of Invictas. I know people have feelings about Invictas, but man, they sell. People are out here trying to buy these Invictas, and so it's really hard not to just keep stocking them, to be honest. But yeah, we're going to have 2 inventories for right now, and we're going to slowly try to build into a website, I think. I think that's the most logical next step. A storefront would be really awesome, and that's definitely something for the more distant future. But for now, movement monitor, make sure to write it down. Keep that name in your mind. It's coming soon. I think I said before, I have a website I already built for something else I was doing it's still going, but it's just not, I don't think it's worth centering around that now. But yeah.